Here's another thing I'm going to say. Americans, this is for Americans. You're all way more white than you fucking care to admit. We are all way more black than we care to admit. We are all way more Hispanic than we care to admit. Why do I say this? Okay. We grow up in a melting pot. I mean, you could be a white kid in a black neighborhood, a Puerto Rican neighborhood, and you could culturally identify with them more than, maybe your cultural roots where you came from, somewhere in Europe. And America does that to people, and you could be a black guy growing up in a white neighborhood, and you more culturally identify with the European Americans than you do with some African American communities. America does that. You could be a white guy growing up in a Mexican neighborhood, and you could wear your socks up high, and have the cholo outfit. I mean, you are culturally where you grew up. And America's so big. It's so diverse. Just because you're fucking white or black or Mexican or whatever, Asian, Indian, it doesn't mean that you're culturally like that. So I just want to say, it's kind of hard to be racist if you're an American. And everyone wants to throw that word out there all the fucking time. Oh, you're fucking racist. You're racist. You're racist. Well, guess what? I just assume everywhere I go, the people are going to think I'm racist because I'm fucking white. I just assume it. And if you don't, hey, kudos. Bonus for me. But you know what? In the back of my head, I'm like, they think I'm a fucking racist anyway. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm coming in hot. So here's another cool thing about America. Okay, I'm going to say the good and the bad, okay? The good thing is, you have an opportunity to learn from so many different races of people. And literally right next door. You have so many different kinds of food. You can make friends with people from different countries and different culture, which is actually in your benefit to do. Because there's some things, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what race of person you are, what culture you're from, there is something to be learned from everyone, whether good or bad. Oh, you know what? I like the way they do that. Oh, I don't like the way they do that. So you can pick and choose what you like about their culture, and you can integrate it into your own. This is the fucking cool thing about being American. It's a learning experience from literally every race on the planet. You can probably find them in your local neighborhood, which is positive for you because if you learn and you can adapt it to your own life, it will be in your benefit. Trust me. It's really hard to be closed-minded in America. Everyone that I know growing up, and even now, people are more mixed than ever, right? It's hard to be a straight, devout racist. You could be a little racist. I honestly think everyone is a little bit racist. And especially after going to other countries like China, they have their own brand of racism. It's a homogenous society. Japan, homogenous society. Their racism isn't fuck you, cracker, or fuck you, N-word. Their racism isn't that superficial. Their racism is fucking extremely deep. It's so deep that if someone who is Japanese citizen goes to study in America or goes to work in another company in America, you are culturally and mentally compromised. You cannot hold government position. You cannot hold a high position back in Japan once you've been culturally manipulated or brainwashed to adopt a different culture. That's how deep their racism goes. But here's the problem about America. And this is the good thing about racist, homogenous societies. They all are on the same page, okay? They have probably the same God, same religion, same way of life, same culture. There is way less conflict and less crime when you have a homogenous society that, does not let outsiders influence their society. And that is racism. That is racism. That is prejudice. And it's healthy for them and their society. So in America, because it's impossible to actually be I mean, even if you're white, like I'm just saying, even if you're white, supposedly 60% still white people. It is impossible from a bird's eye point of view power structure. It's impossible to continue to be racist and then only have white people have the power structure. I mean, what needs to happen, in my opinion, and this is what would be good for everybody, is all the people that are here need to unify around a common cause. Okay? Obviously, it's not race because we are multiracial. Common cause, a common way of life, and something that we can be like, hey, you're American. They see each other. Hey, you're one of us. You're American. Not like, hey, you're a different race. You're an enemy. Because a lot of people do that. They walk by, they're like, oh, this guy's a black guy. This is what they think in their head, you know? And everyone's guilty of it. Like, oh, this guy's white. He probably does this. Or, oh, this guy is Mexican. Or, oh, this guy's Puerto Rican. Or this guy's Asian. They probably think like this. They probably do like this. We make prejudgments in our head about every single person that walks by us in the street. What we need to do is have a distinction between people and something that we can unify around, and it can't be race because we're already, like I said, we're already too different in the race category. So that's what I'd like to do, man. I mean, ultimately, I rant and rave about all this shit because it's ultimately not good for me, and it's ultimately not good for the people out there.